Hey guys, welcome back to Hype RC. Today on the channel we have something brand new. Generally we focus on bashing and crawling on my channel. I used to do a lot of racing back in the day, on-road, off-road, buggies, truggies, touring cars, all that kind of stuff. But once I got into crawling, it really kind of took over my shop, and I've done a lot of that lately. Well, right down the street from me, about 4 minutes down the road, a brand new 10th scale indoor drift shop has opened up, zero traction, so you can go in there and you can rent cars and see if it's something you might be interested in. And I have found that it is an extremely challenging RC racing style. So if you want to get involved in this, I highly recommend you go to a place and kind of check it out first. Now, when you get into anything as far as racing or crawling, generally kits are going to be your best bang for the buck. You get a lot more out of them than an RTR. So I researched a bunch of brands and a bunch of different levels that come in those kits, and I went ahead and went with the Yokomo SD 2.0, which stands for Super Drift. Now, they do have an RTR car, and then they have a Rookie Drift kit, a Super Drift kit, and then a Master Drift kit. Now, the Super Drift kit seems to be the best bang for the buck. You get a lot of carbon fiber and a lot of aluminum parts and the aluminum shocks in this kit. Electronics are all separate. I've got those all picked out, as well as the body. So let's go ahead and head over to the bench and check all this out. We're going to start off with the new Yokomo SD 2.0 kit. All right, guys, so here is the kit that I have picked out. We're not actually going to do an unboxing of this because a lot of other channels have already done that. I just want to explain to you why this is the kit that I have picked out. Yokomo is a top brand in drifting. They actually have 4 different levels of vehicles that you can pick out. So they have a basic RTR, which is a ready to run right out of the box. They have a Rookie Drift kit, which is to be assembled, and it has a bunch of plastic, not a lot of adjustability. Then they have the Super Drift car. This comes with a lot of aluminum and carbon fiber that you would have upgraded from the Rookie Drift kit. And then they have the MD kit, which is the Master Drift kit, which is actually a completely different car than this, and that kit starts at about $1,000. This one is about $500. Now, when you're going to get into any type of racing or drifting or crawling, your best bang for the buck is always going to be a kit. You get a lot more goodies in that kit than you ever will out of an RTR. So if you're going to get into this hobby, do your research, see what you want to get involved with, what the upgrades are, because I am saving money on starting off with the Super Drift kit instead of the Rookie Drift kit and then upgrading all the aluminum parts to what comes out of this one. So I'm going to go ahead and get this car build up. We're going to take a look at the electronics and the body that I've picked out, and then once it's fully assembled, we'll go ahead and take the car down to zero traction and take it out for a spin. Stick around and check it out. So let's go ahead and take an up-close look at the electronics we're going to put in our Yokomo SD 2.0 kit. So in drifting, a servo and gyro are extremely important, so we're going to match the kit with the Yokomo SPO 3D V2 servo. This is programmable, and the V4 gyro. This is also programmable. These are going to communicate and talk to each other very smoothly. We're going with a Hobbywing power system in this. We have the D10 10.5 turn brushless motor, and then the XD10 Pro 100 amp ESC. We also got the cooling fan that mounts on top of this. These are both red to go ahead and match the servo and gyro as well. We got the Yokomo 24 tooth pinion to go ahead and mount up on the motor. And then we've got the Yokomo DRC tires that we're going to put on here. So generally your track requests that you run a certain kind of tire for the type of surface that they have. These are what we're going to run at zero traction. And then we got these bronze lab custom RC wheels. These are going to look killer on the body. And then finally, we're going to run the Noble MB4 Pro Plus transmitter and receiver in this. And this is a high-end electronics kit for that car. Now let's go ahead and take an up-close look at the body. So in drifting, scale bodies are all the rage, and we went ahead and picked one up from Killer Body. So this is one of my favorite cars. This is a Nissan Skyline R34. We got it in white, very scale detail. Comes with light buckets, rear wing, exhaust, and everything on it. There are a lot of really nice scale body kits that you can get in clear Lexan and customize yourself. But for my first go around, we're just going to go ahead with something from Killer Body. This is scaled out, light buckets, everything you need, already installed, already painted on here. I will end up getting a custom body down the road, but I think this is going to go ahead and set this kit off, and it's easy and ready to go. Let's go ahead and get this car built up and take a look at it. All right, guys, now that I've got this kit completely built, I've had it to the track a couple times and I've got it tuned in, and I really want to talk about why I picked the SD 2.0 kit versus like the RD 1.0 or the MD 1.0. So I believe that this is the best bang for the buck, for your dollars, for a comp kit. Now, I'd been to the track multiple times and rented cars. I knew that this is the side of the hobby I wanted to get into. That's why I didn't go out and buy an RTR or a rookie drift vehicle, because once you buy the RD 1.0 and you start putting all of these upgrades and adding those dollars up, it ends up being a lot more expensive than just starting off with the buy once, cry once SD 2.0. So let's go over what makes this car so good. First of all, you get the carbon fiber upper and lower chassis for this, which is absolutely amazing. You get the aluminum shock towers on the front and rear of this vehicle. You also get the sliding rack, which is actually from the MD 1.0. So they brought that down to this kit. And really important is you get the Yokomo shocks for this. So these are some of the best shocks in the industry for drifting, according to the guys at the local shop. And some guys are a fan of the sliding rack and some guys aren't. I really like the way it works. It also allows you to set your servo further back in the car. So the difference between crawling and drifting is with crawlers, you try to get all that weight forward for that front grip. And on these rear wheel drive cars, you end up wanting to get all the weight towards the rear of the vehicle. So moving that servo further back allows you to have more weight towards the rear of the vehicle. Now, this transmission case is also all aluminum and it is 3 and 4 gear capable. I have mine set up at the 4 gear and it is very nice. The next thing that is extremely important with drifting is being able to adjust your A-arms and your turnbuckles, and this kit comes with all of that, so you can really tune in the camber and the caster and everything you need to really get this car to perform well. And you have to dial it in slowly and run it and dial it in and then run it again. And I've got this car running very well at my local track. We've had it up on the table multiple times and I've got it to the point to where I think it's running absolutely fantastic. Next, I want to talk about the electronics that we got on here. So I ended up going with the Xerun D10 motor. This is a 10.5 turn. I've got a 24 tooth pinion on it. It's running fantastic. And then this XD10 Pro Servo or ESC is absolutely amazing. This thing is just a fantastic combination with this motor. No problems, no overheating issues or anything like that. And then we'll move up here to the servo. So this is the SPO 3D Yokomo V2 servo. This thing is awesome. It is programmable. We did tune it in for the most speed and torque that you can have on this. This is a very nice servo for drifting. And then my absolute favorite is the DP 302 V4 gyro. This thing is awesome. I've got it centered on the vehicle and it works very well. You can adjust it on my remote and I really got the gyro tuned in exactly where I like it. So the big thing about drifting is really kind of getting the car set up and running it, learning the car, and then getting it tuned in and then just learning to drift, because it is not the easiest thing I've ever done. It's actually very challenging, which is what is so attractive to me. I really like the one-up bullets that I put on here for putting in and out of the battery. It makes it very easy to get them in and out. The batteries that I chose to run on my car are the CNHL 120C 5200 milliamp 2S shorty packs. These are awesome. You can get both of these packs for under $60. The resistance on them is extremely low and these packs are running very well for me. So all in all, I'm extremely happy with the way that this car is running and the amount of money compared to the performance level that I'm getting out. I really want to get into comp, but I need a lot more wheel time before I'm able to be able to get out there and do that, but it's something I'm shooting for in the long run. I love the magnet mounts for the body. These are absolutely killer. So let's go ahead and take a look at the body and then look at some running footage from my last time out at the track. So here's my R34 Skyline from Killer Body. Lots of scale details on this. It comes with the rear view mirrors and the spoiler on back. Again, lots of scale details, gas tank, side markers, door handles. The front end, it does come with clear light buckets. I did have to buy the light kit to install on here. Now, I know these lights look like they're blinking. They're actually running solid. We have a faux intercooler on the front. It does take turn signals, but I am not a big fan of turn signals. Nice intake up here on the hood. Again, side markers, door handles, lots of scale details. And then the best looking rear end in cars, in my personal opinion, on the R34. Definitely can tell this is a GTR Skyline from the back. Faux exhaust, just an absolutely great body for $80. It comes completely painted right out of the box. This is the way to go when you're just getting in. I want to eventually get a Sylvia or maybe a 350Z or something different, maybe even a Corvette for one of my other builds. I got the DC-10 coming. We're going to do something a little different on it as well. But for now, this body is absolutely killer on this rig. Let's take a look at the remote. Now let's take a look at the MB4 Pro Plus from FlySky. This is their flagship remote. It comes in a very nice hard case that does come with keys, and you can lock this case up. Let's go ahead and take a quick look inside the case. So we've got our remote. It comes with an extra wheel. Now this is actually wirelessly chargeable, and it comes with a pad that you can charge it up on, which is a very nice detail. We have a box of goodies here. We have an extra screen protector in there, and then inside this box, it comes with not one, but two different receivers, a different set of triggers, and different types of aluminum guarding for the remote itself, Allen wrenches to go ahead and be able to adjust that with. And then it comes with a strap. It comes with a charging cable, FlySky strap. It comes with a different back strap for the remote itself, different springs to go ahead and set the tension on the trigger itself. There's the two extra screen protectors, an instruction manual in the bottom there, and then we have the remote itself. So this is a very nice remote. It is ambidextrous. You can run this on either side. It comes with this camera mount on it, which is great for somebody like me that does a lot of filming. And then it comes with the removable battery down here. This is where you go ahead and set it up for wireless charging. This is very nice. You can charge your phone. This is a USB-C. The old system was just a mini USB. So this is definitely new. You can actually update the firmware on this remote as well. It is 16 channels. It has an extremely bright LCD screen. It has speakers. And we're not going to go through all the settings, but this is just an amazing remote. This is definitely the nicest remote I've ever owned. Has everything that you could want on this remote. You can set throttle curves, tune all the different switches in. And again, nice foam wheel. It comes with the additional one here. I haven't changed it out to this. Really, this one's a little bit bigger. I kind of like that one. We might take a look at doing that down the road, but I just wanted to show you this, you guys, this remote. And the biggest thing about this remote to me is the latency on it. So when you run drift, you are going to want a very low latency remote. You know, a lot of guys run the Futaba. I like FlySky personally, and I wanted this flagship remote for a very long time. I love the disc brake in here on the front. So this is definitely nice. $520 is the flagship for this, opposed to like a $700 Futaba. So everything's easily accessible from your thumb. I have my gyro set up on the top right here, which is this is the TR3 setting right here. It's a wheel, so I can dial my gyro up and down very easily. Ambidextrous, like I said, so you can run this left or right-handed. And this is just a absolutely killer remote, highly recommended by me and a lot of other guys. I will run all of my high-end comp rigs, racing rigs, and drift rigs on this remote with this ultra low latency. So highly recommended. Check this remote out. All right, guys, I'm having an absolute blast learning how to drift RC cars, and it's just something else I can add to the Surface RC collection that I have not tried before, and I really like it because it is extremely challenging, and there's a very large learning curve to it. But once you get around your first corner, you just might get addicted to it like I did. So would I recommend spending this kind of money if it's something that you don't know if you're going to be into or not? No, I do not. I don't recommend an RTR either, though. At this point in time, I think you go to your local track, see if they rent vehicles, see if it's something you're into, and then go from there. And if you decide that you want to be into it, I highly recommend a kit. And that goes for pretty much any aspect of Surface except for bashing. Bashing, I would suggest a roller, add your own electronics to that. But if you're going to get into racing, you're going to get into crawling, you're going to get into drifting, your money is best well spent on a very high quality kit. You're going to get the best bang for your buck, and you're going to learn how to completely work on that vehicle from bolts and parts all the way up. When I was a kid, 10 years old, and started this hobby, there was no such thing as an RTR. Everything was a kit, and I think it's a great part of building. It's something I really enjoy. It takes me back to being a 10-year-old kid and building my Tamiya Blackfoot, and this kit for drifting, I think is probably the best bang for the buck. The Yokomo SD 2.0 comes with a lot of the upgrades. The only thing I can see upgrading on this vehicle down the road would maybe be the aluminum A-arms. But other than that, I really like the way that this kit runs right out of the box with a little bit of tuning. The factory tuning wasn't great. Once we got it over there and got it around the track a few times, I got it tuned in to the way I like to drive, and it's doing very well. Again, with remotes, you're going to want a low latency remote. Generally, the high-end remotes are $700 and $800. I think that the latency and the abilities of this remote match those other high-end remotes, and it is several $100s cheaper. So I don't want to call anything that's $520 budget, but I think this, again, is the best bang for the buck, just like the SD 2.0 and the budget body. So the killer body, the R34, is one of my favorite cars. I love Nissan in general. This body comes completely done up out of the factory. It's something I didn't understand about drifting, but bodies can be $130, $140, $200 for a Lexan body. And then if you want it custom painted, or you want to custom paint it yourself and put it all together, you can end up with over $200 in a body very easily. So this is definitely a nice budget body to be able to put on your drift car, and it looks very good. The light buckets, all the details on it, it's super nice. So now we're going to have to add a new tag to the outro on my channel. So now it's bash, crawl, drift, repeat. Support your local hobby shops. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button for me and ring the bell so you can catch my next video. We'll see you next time.